Now. Oh, hello everyone. We've got Paul Clennett, hey man, Gerald and Co. I think we've got Brendan Brownie Brown in here as well. We're about to get started. A little bit excited, a little bit nervous. This is not the normal for us. We normally do a pre-recorded thing, so anything stupid we say gets edited out. But here at Aussie Games Express, we're always changing things up.
Got to have a bit of fun, and I get free reign tonight.
Yeah, no editing for you either. So you know how we're normally at the start where we're trying to come up with a couple of jokes or something stupid to say for the little intro part?
Yeah.
I've got some jokes for you.
Cool.
See, and
I heard the worst joke I've ever heard the other day. It was quite disturbing, actually.
Can you tell it?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, there's no editing.
Yeah. It's not really filthy, and it was said by a bloke named Frankie Boyle. So anyone that knows Frankie Boyle, he's one of probably the rudest comics out there.
Mm-hmm.
He was talking about the other day that how does it feel? This is an old joke, but it was previously recorded that I was watching.
Yeah.
He goes, the other day I was watching on YouTube the conviction and beheading of Saddam Hussein. And it was at that point that I realised, is there anything on the internet that I won't masturbate to?
That's terrible, but wait till you hear the calibre of jokes I've got for you.
Yeah.
You got to. I know there's a certain few people out there, and especially some of the ones listening that will understand where these jokes come from. But let's see if you can get them, Snoogs.
I'll try my best.
I tried to catch some fog earlier. I missed.
Mm-hmm.
I got another one here. Right. Bakers trade bread recipes on a need-to-know basis.
No basis. Yep.
Hey, Doug Crew, how are you? What about here? A book just fell on my head. I only have my shelf to blame. I need a...
You need it.
Oh, I have it.
Oh! There it is.
Here we go. All right, let's... how about we get the show started, eh? Welcome, everyone. Let's start. This is episode 191, and today is Thursday, the 19th of October, 2017. Welcome to the Aussie Gamers Express video game podcast, which just happens to be live this week. I am your host, Lucas, and here with me is my co-host and very good friend, Snoogs. How are you, man?
Feeling like it's a Friday. Wish I didn't have to go to work tomorrow.
Yeah, well, it's not, so suck it up, princess. But... something about this being live, though, shows that people, hey, look, I can get that intro done in one take.
Yes. So it doesn't take you three.
That's right.
Yeah.
Hey, shut up. But anyway, before we start, here is this week's show in preview. First up, we will do video game discussion. Then we'll do video game news. And in this week's news, we've got EA shuts down Visceral Games, naughty business at Naughty Dog, Fortnite Lawsuit, and a sneaky little extra one here, Activision's sneaky patent. Then we'll do user-created content, then what's that sound, and then we'll do last words for the end of this week's show. So, first up, let's go straight into video game discussion. Snoogs, this is you, my friend.
This is all on me. Starting it off.
Carry the stream, boy.
It's been a big couple of weeks, hasn't it, mate? We've come back from the expo, gotten back into some sort of level of normality.
A little bit normal. As normal as we can get.
You've had to go back to work.
Yeah, I do that from time to time.
Ew, dirty. Yeah. And game-wise, I've not done all that much. So you guys would have seen that the Forza 7 review's gone up. And,
it has. It is
over
on the
YouTube.
website and YouTube, yeah.
Yep, so that's going along quite nicely. I did hold off on that for a little while because I wanted to have a go of it in 4K on the One X while we're up at the expo. And kind of glad I did now that I've seen it up there, and you know, it was actually quite good. Then also we've got you and I, was it last week? Had a bit of a go of Rainbow Six. Was that last week?
Yeah, I don't know. I think it was on the weekend. Maybe we did play Rainbow Six Siege. We played the terrorist hunt. It's got me in a bit of a mood for that. I played that a little bit since as well.
Ah, very nice. See, it's addictive, mate. And then you got to go in, you do a few rounds of, you know, casual, getting there, get playing. You were doing all right in that too, so that was good fun.
Nah, I don't really like the multiplayer. Oh, look, I went back and I played the terrorist hunt, and I thought this is way too stupidly easy just on like the normal settings where they basically come out and go, shoot me, and you know, it's easy. And then I put it on, what is it, realistic?
Realistic, yep.
And then
they hunt you. Yeah.
I haven't played it since. Yeah, they come hunting after you.
Yeah, they hunt you down. So I thought I'd try a one out with it the other night and put on realistic just because I went, I only need, 2 headshots to finish the daily sort of thing. So I'll just chuck it on that. I got my 2 headshots, but yeah, I also got hunted down by the bomber dude. So he come around behind me and just blew himself up.
Oh, they do my head in, those things, because like I've run away from them successfully once, but they just kill you straight down.
Yeah,
no revives.
Just gone. That's it. See you later. So yeah, so that was a bit of fun. Some more grinding on Destiny, both on the Xbox and the PS4, and really, I've only been playing one more game so far this week. Well, GT Sport's come out, and I was screaming at my internet all night last night because it just would not download fast enough for me. It got to 1 o'clock and I spat the dummy and went to bed because it still wasn't ready to go.
Yeah.
So while that was going and while I was fuming, I was playing South Park: The Fractured Butthole.
Right. Fractured Butthole or The Fractured Butthole?
Either way, I'm saying it as The Fractured Butthole because that's how it should be said. Yeah. The Fractured Anus.
That's it.
Yeah.
It's you on Sunday mornings.
Yeah.
How's that going for you?
Oh, mate, it's great fun. It's there's just so much about it that's from the very opening. It's South Park 100% through and through. You can tell the guys have had so much input in the game, and you can tell that they're fans of these games and whatnot. So it's all very South Park. It's brilliant how it's done. The character create screen, I purposely made myself a ginger just to make sure that Cartman hates me that little bit more.
Do you get superpowers in the ginger ninja?
I don't know.
I've got stealth?
I've got a bit of speed about me. So I've gone the speedster route. And yeah, because I'm ginger, so I'm like on fire.
Right. So
that's my theory anyway.
How long have you been playing it? How much time have you put into it so far?
So far, that came out on Tuesday. It downloaded for me Tuesday night, and I put I put an hour into it Tuesday night, and then another 5 last night. Okay,
so the easy answer was 6. Right, so you've put in a little bit of time.
I'm thinking out loud.
I don't need like a spreadsheet layout with a pie chart and diagrams telling me.
It's been a long day. It's hot over here. All right.
It is hot. No, the reason I'm asking is I want to ask the main question I want to get to here that I'm beating around the bush to get to is it's now classified R18 plus in Australia, whereas the previous game was almost banned. In your 5 or 6 hours worth of gameplay, have you seen anything where you've gone, ooh, that would have just made it in?
No.
No, it's all fairly
but
tame.
mind you, in the first game, there was nothing in that game that wasn't in the TV show. I don't believe that they should have cut out what they cut out, because I got an overseas copy originally.
But did we look, I don't remember it, but did we have R18 plus when that was banned?
No.
No. See, that
I think, or it had
just
come in. It was very early on in it.
Yeah. Okay. But anyway, this one's all uncut and stuff, and it's still up to par with the TV show, as funny, if not funnier.
Yeah, it's just as funny. It's got those very tongue-in-cheek moments. The difficulty slider is very, very wrong. So very easy.
It's harder if you're black or something, is it?
Yeah, and it's got nothing to do with the combat. Well, because it has nothing to do with the actual combat.
What is it?
So it's kind of like a piss take on society as a general thing. So the reason that it's harder if you're black, you get less money for things. It's harder to make friends, and it's harder to get people to follow you on Coonagram, which is like, yeah, it's the Coons social network, and you've got to go and get followers to build your respect level up. Mm-hmm. And there's certain people in the game that won't talk to you because you don't have enough followers, and yeah, so that's what makes it harder. The combat actually doesn't change with whatever difficulty you've got.
Yeah, right. Paul in the chat's just saying that there's a scene where there's kids lap dancing.
Yeah, that was actually the scene that was at the EB Expo.
Right.
And the whole time you're doing it, you're just sitting there going, just shaking your head and like, what am I doing? And it kind of makes it a little bit comical because you're farting the whole time through it, and the guy that you're giving the lap dance to is like, oh my God, this is burning my nose. Oh my God. But it's very right. Yeah.
See, the way I see South Park these days is almost they do stuff that's outlandish just for that oh my God factor. You know, it's no longer witty humour. And I'm not pigeonholing it, saying it's all like that, but there is a bit of stuff in there that's just like the only reason why that's there is to get reaction.
Yeah.
I don't. As I get older, I'm appreciating more humour like Rick and Morty, I reckon. Bring on a Rick and Morty like that game, I think.
But yeah, it's more that this is just wrong factor. That's what it is. You know, back when we were 18, something like, yeah, it was a lot funnier.
Yeah,
and you know, I can still remember going to the movies to watch the original movie, and yeah, games.
Gee, Snoogs, you're Skyping out a bit here. What's going on? You're not even on Skype.
Hey?
Wait, I got all right. Yeah, I think I've got you now. But anyway,
good old Discord.
Anyway, not for me. I'm happy to leave the reviewing of Fractured Butthole to you.
Yeah, it's definitely not for you.
No,
you've got to be a hardcore South Park fan, I think. Well, you need to be a fan to get it. You can play it, and you could quite easily play it and quite easily get through it from start to finish, but you won't get it.
But I'm not a big fan of turn-based combat either. So even that just sort of gives it another thumbs down. So
the turn-based combat actually works out pretty well, and there's some pretty cool things that you can do in it because you're playing superheroes.
All right. Well, we could probably touch on that a bit more. You're only just scratching the surface of that.
Just scratching the
surface.
No, that's pretty much it, mate. I did have a little bit of a strange phone call that is gaming related the other day.
Okay.
Yeah. So
was it $4.99 a minute?
No, not $4.99 a minute. I won something.
Oh, good.
And it's supposed to be getting picked up tomorrow.
What'd you win?
So, a VR.
Bullshit.
Mm-hmm.
You're lying.
No.
Did you win a PlayStation VR?
Yep.
Oh, dude, that's awesome.
So, because, yeah, I've entered God knows how many different things I've found on the internet about it. And yeah, person rang me up and said, congratulations, Pat, you've won this. Where can we send it? So I'm like, all right, well, I don't believe anything for people to actually call me and say, I don't believe that I'm that lucky. So it's getting sent to work. So hopefully it comes through tomorrow.
Oh, that's look. This is you need this.
I didn't do anything. I just wrote a comical poem on something. I can't even remember what the poem was.
Who cares, dude? You won a PlayStation VR. That is sick.
So yeah, I won that, and it was it was someone. The person said that what I wrote made everyone that read it laugh, so they gave it to me.
What did you? Do you know what you wrote?
No, it was like 3 months ago.
Oh, okay.
It was some long running thing.
Oh wow! Well, good on you. That's really cool.
I get to play with that now.
Have you ever won anything of that much value before?
I have. I'm a bit of a tinny bastard when it comes to shit like that.
Oh, yeah, I was going to give you a trophy sound effect because, like, you can have it anyway.
Woo!
There you go. Oh, and for those Xbox people in the chat, you can have this. How boring is that?
Just doesn't have the same feel, does it?
Or you can have this. I like the echo. That's great. Well, it just goes to show you got to be in it to win it.
You do, yes. The hundreds of comps that I've entered for it, I won one, so that's pretty cool.
Finally, that's good, man. That is really good. I'm happy for you. Now we can do some PSVR together. Was that everything? Anything else noteworthy?
That's
to
it,
tell
mate.
us?
Yeah, no, that's all of it.
All right, pass the torch.
Big week.
I'll run through a couple of things that I've been doing. First on my list here, I've got Forza Motorsport 7. Now, there's a little thing called the Community Lap Challenge from the Down Under Gaming Boys there that do the Xbox and Chill podcast. It really does breathe a lot of life into racing car games for me. So I haven't gotten into this week's one. I'm a little bit late on that, but last week's one I put in a time which I didn't realise how competitive it was. I didn't win or come close to winning, but I did make it challenging for a few people. I think I was about halfway through the leaderboard.
Yeah.
I did beat you, and I also beat Stick Figure as well. So
by what, 0.001 of a second or something?
I don't know, don't care. I was on top, so that's all that matters.
I just know. I reckon if he'd had another 20 minutes to do it, I think he would have caught you.
Oh, that's what he was saying. I could have.
That's what he reckons anyway. Yeah.
Mm.
We'll let him have it. He can only when he gets an achievement, it only goes. Oh.
Yeah. Well, I was only. If I had another 20 minutes too, I would have had a 45-second lap. That's it.
I think if I'd put more than 20 minutes in it, I might have got a bit higher.
Maybe. But Stick Figure saying in the chat there that he won Forza 7. He did. I remember him saying that. He won himself a copy of the game, which was really cool.
Me too, yeah.
Yeah.
And Paul won the first Xbox 360 to be released. Nice.
There you go. In South Australia, by the looks of things.
Mm.
With social media these days, there's competitions going left, right and centre. And generally all you need to do is like, share, follow, all that sort of stuff.
Yeah, the usual. Yeah.
You've got to do them. Like, even if you're not even big on Twitter, like if you mainly use Facebook or if you mainly use Twitter, get a Facebook account or get a Twitter account and just hunt down these competitions, because there are a lot of I only follow probably 150 people or so, but with everybody retweeting the competitions, they always show up on my feed. So it takes you like not even 10 seconds to enter these competitions and you're in it. That's it. And look, I mean, the odds might be good, the odds might be bad, but the more you do, the better chance. Anyway, I don't know why I'm giving instructions now to win shit. This isn't bloody Tight Asses Anonymous. But anyway.
Well, it kind of is. You and I are on it.
Hey, you can count yourself for that. I'm not like that. The Forza Motorsport, I'm enjoying it quite a fair bit. I have gone off the campaign part, or like can you call it the campaign?
Yeah, you could call it a campaign.
I don't know, but the single player bit, I've gone off of that a bit.
The offline bit, yeah.
Yeah, I've gone off that. I've mainly sort of just do these rivals competitions now. I find them a lot more enjoyable. But yeah, so that was pretty much all I did with that. Next up on my list, Pat, I've got to tee up this trophy thing again. The Last of Us. Finished my Grounded playthrough. Yeah, there's another trophy there. So the hardest difficulty, which was added to the game after launch, it was sort of like a free DLC where they added the Grounded mode, which was ridiculously hard. I finally finished it last week. I got through. Oh, it was so good. And the feeling was almost deflated.
Did you
immediately.
Jump?
What? Nah. I was just like, oh, thank God. But it was almost deflated immediately when it went back to the main menu and said, continue with New Game Plus, Grounded.
Oh, shit.
So,
sorry.
Grounded is kind of the hardest difficulty, but then there's Grounded New Game Plus, so Grounded Plus, which is going to be a tad harder.
Commonly referred to as Nope.
Yeah, well, it's another trophy, that's the thing. So it is harder, but the thing is you have all of your upgrades with you. But the only thing is, though, the upgrades are almost pointless when you're in Grounded mode because there's nothing there to use anyway. Like, yeah, okay, I might be able to reload faster, but I've got no ammo. So what's the point in reloading quicker? You know, those sorts of things. And then it's like, oh, I can heal faster. That's really great when you die after one hit. What's the point in being able to heal faster? So all these little upgrades, and like that doesn't really matter. You basically need to play Grounded like perfect. It needs to be perfect runs. If you get hit once, you're generally going to die. So it's pretty hard. I will play Grounded New Game Plus. I was wanting to play it straight away, but instead of doing that, I went and played Left Behind on Grounded difficulty, which is the DLC.
The DLC, yeah.
I'm nearly finished. I'm up to the last encounter. Because yeah, it's quite short. The DLC's only 2-3 hours long, so I've got myself right up to the final encounter. But well, it's technically the second last because it kind of the DLC split. If you haven't played it before, there's like 2 timelines in the DLC, so I've nearly done the last of one of the timelines, and then it'll be the other timeline, and then it'll be finished. So I nearly finished that as well on Grounded, just getting those trophies. All right, moving on. One that you recommended, Snoogs, Fishing Master on the PlayStation VR. That's not available in Australia, you know that?
I did not know that.
No,
that's becoming more and more a thing with VR. They're releasing it OS, but not here.
Yeah, so I looked for it when you told me about it. I'm like, Fishing Master, okay. Snoogs said give it a go. It sounds like it'll be all right for VR. Couldn't find it, but I went on to the Canadian store and the American store. They're on there. So I've downloaded the demo free of charge and played it. It's, you know how we've got that other fishing one? Was it Fishing World or something like
Fishing Planet, yeah.
Fishing Planet. That's like a real sim. This Fishing Master PlayStation VR is very arcadey. So, I'd actually play it. I'd like it more because you generally, like catching, when you throw your lure in, you're going to catch a fish on your line within 5 seconds. Like it's pretty easy to do. And then the trick is you got to reel it in using the PlayStation Move controller. And, you know, you got to let it go when it starts pulling so you don't break the line. You get bigger fish like marlin, which are very easy to break the line because they're strong. It's fairly limited with the demo, but you can get different reels, different rods. You can get all that stuff, you know, probably DLC and microtransactions and stuff, but not bad. If it does come to the Australian store, or if you've got access to an overseas account like the US or Canadian PSN store, you can actually get the demo free of charge now. And I did, and it's not bad. If you like your fishing games, your arcadey fishing games, Fishing Master and the PlayStation VR. Now, I was hungry for PlayStation VR, so I went and grabbed myself... I went hunting for a game to find. I'm like, there's got to be something there. I found Megaton Rainfall on the PlayStation VR. Have you heard of it?
Oh, yes. Yes.
Oh, you have?
This is one I have heard of. I've been following this since very early development.
I only just found out about it a couple of days ago.
Oh, okay. So, yeah, you're a superhero.
Yeah, I bought it.
Mm-hmm.
It actually released yesterday, I think. And I bought it and played it today. And you're a superhero saving planet Earth. I think you're just a normal human who's been basically picked and given these superpowers where you can fly and shoot and all that sort of
Picked
stuff.
by the gods.
Yeah, he's kind of like a god figure that is like a disembodied voice talking to you saying, you are now powerful, blah, blah, blah. But anyway, superhero
Yep.
who can fly around the entire planet Earth. The whole Earth is in this game. While the game itself, like the missions, don't take place around the entire world, because that would probably need 10 million missions. But you're actually free to fly around the entire world. I flew to Australia. I flew to Sydney. I've flown up into space, into orbit. You do hit like a invisible wall, like a skybox. But mind you, you're in outer space by the time you hit it. And it does that kind of like No Man's Sky sort of thing where there's no loading. You go from space right down to ground level. And mind you, you can do it in about 3 seconds. You fly like really quick, like a mad superhero. Essentially, this game could be reskinned to be a Superman VR game, because that's pretty much what it is. You use the DualShock controller, so you're still using the thumbsticks and the triggers and that to shoot, but you're essentially moving your head around, looking and aiming, which makes it really intuitive to do because you're looking at what you want to shoot at and then you just shoot, which is really cool. And one of the amazing things and how good it looks, I mean, yes, the graphics are a little bit dulled down because it's VR, but the particle effects are so good. Like when a building gets destroyed, like a skyscraper, there are particles going everywhere, pieces and stuff. It looks amazing. And what you're actually battling is like these, like what's that movie that was remade a little while ago?
Was remade recently.
Yeah, Tom Cruise. Tom Cruise was in it. Had those aliens that came down and on those big ships.
Yeah, War of the Worlds.
War of the Worlds. It has a real War of the Worlds kind of feel, and you've got to find the weak spot on these enemy ships and blow them up. It's great, and it's real fast paced as well because you can move around real quick. I could imagine a lot of people would probably get motion sickness from this game. Doesn't affect me for whatever reason, but it's probably the best.
Probably gotten used to it, yeah.
Well, it's never bothered me, and I don't know. I wouldn't say I've gotten used to it because I think that was the first time I've played it in months, so I don't use it very often. It just, I don't know, it just doesn't bother me very much. But I don't get motion sickness or seasickness or whatever. So I guess that has a bit to do with it. But that's probably the best PlayStation VR title I've played in a very long time. Megaton Rainfall on PlayStation VR. I recommend having a look at it. A quick one, Black the Fall. I haven't played it yet, but do you remember me talking about that one a little while ago?
Vaguely.
It's the one that's kind of like Limbo and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
You're a dude, looks like you're running through a factory. Pick that one up because it's on sale at the moment on the PlayStation 4. But haven't played it yet. Bowmasters on the iPhone. I'm still playing that game, dude.
How addictive is it?
It's very addictive. Very addictive. No Time to Explain. I played that on the Xbox One. Have you played that?
No, I haven't.
That's weird. That game is really weird. It like starts off and this guy, like something breaks through the side of your house and this guy walks up and he's like a superhero, time traveler guy. And he goes, I've got no time to explain, but come with me. And then he goes to walk out, and you go with him, and he gets attacked by something. I can't remember what it was, but he's in the jaws of like this monster. And you follow him, and you're just running along, and he's like, "Oh my god, I'm bleeding so much. How is this possible?" It's real weird tongue-in-cheek, but essentially it turns into a bit of a puzzle platformer. Not a bad game. I think it was a free Games with Gold game.
Sounds interesting.
Last but not least, I'll move on from that one. The Evil Within 2. I've been playing that on the Xbox One. Now, I'm about 10 hours in, and I'm doing my review on it, which will probably be out next week sometime. Now,
how does it go compared to the first?
As in what way?
The black bars, top and bottom, and how is it running?
Okay, black bars, top and bottom are gone. Thank God. I was very happy about that. Now, the actual way that it runs, it still runs exactly the same. Runs like balls on the Xbox One. Its frame rate drops a lot, and the overall clunkiness of your character and the controls and the in-game animations are pretty horrid. But that's essentially where the bad stuff ends, though. The rest of the game so far has been pretty damn good. And there's a lot of stuff in there that I don't want to spoil, because the story's actually not bad. But there's a warning that I'm definitely going to be including in my review. And you know how normally with sequels you'll play it, and your general idea is you don't have to play the first game to understand what's going on in the second?
Mm-hmm.
That doesn't apply with this one. If you haven't played the first game, you will not know what's going on. It will be confusing.
Yeah, well, it was... you're going back in, aren't you? Isn't that the tagline of it? Get ready to go back in?
Yeah, but going back into what?
Well, within yourself.
But do you know anything about the first one?
Oh, it's been that long since I played it.
Did you finish it?
Yeah. I can't remember any of it, though,
did?
but I did finish it, yeah.
Oh, okay. See, I haven't finished the first one. So you would have had a better idea going in than I did. But what I ended up having to do is, because I haven't finished the first one, is I went and watched a YouTube video, which basically summed up the first game in 5 minutes. And then I went back to the Evil Within 2, which made a lot more sense now. So, yeah, I would recommend if you're going to play the Evil Within 2, you either want to get caught up with a YouTube video or go and play the first one first. But knowing what I know now, I'm actually a little bit more intrigued to play the first one. I didn't realise the overarching aspect to the game. I'm trying to be a little bit vague here. Yeah, I didn't actually realise that it.
I remember that once I got used to just the way it ran and the controls and everything on the first one, that it really gripped me. And it was one of those ones that was just, all right, let's get into this and get through it. And I punched through it in a couple of sittings. But yeah, that's about as far as the memory goes with it. So it can't have been that memorable.
Yeah, well, there you go. I didn't mind what I was playing, but the poor performance is what sort of turned me off mostly on it. But look, I'm going to keep playing it. Look, the Evil Within 2 is actually really holding my attention. I'm really enjoying it. It feels very intuitive the way the game plays. Here's one thing. The first game is very linear. This is the Evil Within 2 is kind of open world, man.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, not like full-on open world like Assassin's Creed or anything like that. But there's kind of like a hub world, which is essentially the main portion of the game. And then, you know, you'll go to a location in the hub world, which may, let's just say, for example, a mansion, and you'll go inside it, and then that sort of level or chapter is inside that mansion. But it's essentially that mansion is within an open world map.
Okay.
So there you go. Quite interesting. But yeah, I'm about halfway through the game, so I've got half to go, and then I'll put together my review for probably the end of next week. There you go. Everyone's still alive in the chat, seeing as though this is our live episode. Sorry if we get on a bit of a roll and we aren't communicating too much with the chat, but try and grab us. Grab our attention with something that we really want to
it looks like Paul hasn't tried multiplayer on Forza 7. Hit us up, man.
Okay. I don't think I have either.
I've given it a couple of races. Did absolutely woeful.
I haven't. I've done the online stuff with you, but I haven't done multiplayer either.
Well, that's multiplayer. There was 2 of us.
Well, yeah, but just the matchmaking-y stuff.
The matchmaking is actually really good. It kind of balances you out.
Right.
So it doesn't work out too badly. But, yeah, Paul, hit us up if you want to have a race, mate. My tag is my name, Snoogs. Just jump in there.
Awesome. We'll have to tee something like that up. We might do some community things. Or we'll get everyone over to the Down Under Gaming Community Challenge. That's the best thing to do.
Yeah.
All right. Shall we move on to the next segment? What's that? News we're up to, isn't it?
The news.
Let's do the news. All right, first up in the news, EA shuts down Visceral Games. Now, if you've got any comments listening live, obviously if you're listening to this back later on iTunes or YouTube or something, just put it in the comments. We can have a bit of a chat. But let's go through this one. So EA shuts down Visceral Games. EA have announced that they're shutting down Visceral Games, the studio behind the entire Dead Space series. They also did Battlefield Hardline. And they're also working on an upcoming... Oh, Siri just got activated on my phone. That's weird. They were also working on an upcoming unnamed Star Wars game that was teased by EA in the previous years. Work on the current games at Visceral will slowly wind down as EA shuts the studios and will transfer to EA Vancouver. And there is this Star Wars game actually had Amy Hennig working on it. Do you know who she is?
No.
Amy Hennig was one of the lead writers on the Uncharted series. She worked for Naughty Dog for a long time. She's actually a fantastic game creator. So the Uncharted series, no slouch of a game. She was actually working on that Visceral Star Wars game, single-player action game, which was probably going to be that Star Wars, was it 1818 or whatever it was?
Yeah.
It was probably going to be like that. Man. Yeah, but it was going to be like that kind of game, like, and it still is. I
reckon they're going to reboot Force Unleashed.
Possibly with that kind of game, it'd be that sort of third person, kind of like Uncharted with Amy Hennig at the helm there. But there's no word as to what they're going to do with her and what they're going to do with that game. Whether that's going to be shifted across to one of the EA studios, like the one in Vancouver, or if it's all just going to be. If that's the case, I think if anybody starts making a Star Wars third-person action single-player game, then you're going to end up in the Bermuda Triangle. Don't bother.
Did you actually see the Visceral Games Twitter feed today?
No, not today.
So, well, today or yesterday it was. Visceral don't post all that much, so they don't put a lot of stuff on Twitter. But today there was a link saying, EA are closing down Visceral Games, and the photo of under the link was everyone at Visceral Games. They just lined up on the stairs, no one really smiling or anything. It was just like a photo that was one to really hit home just how many people are about to lose their jobs. Yeah,
that sucks.
Very much so, especially for a game that's got for a company that has such a great history. Like the stuff they put out. Yeah.
Visceral did those... Oh, am I thinking of the right... They didn't do those car games, did they? Burnout? No, that was Criterion.
No. Criterion. No, but they did the Dead Space games.
Dead Space. I love the Dead Space
phenomenal,
games.
Yeah.
That is a shame. Oh, well, good luck to them. Hopefully they get jobs elsewhere. All right, next up in the news, naughty business at Naughty Dog. Naughty Dog in the news again. Hey, Adam Ryle, thanks for joining in the chat there. Let's give a bit of a shout out. We've got Stick Figure, Paul Clennett. Who else is in there? Hayden. Oh, I missed Hayden. How many times did you die? I don't know. Missed that. Let's get into this one. Earlier this week... Where's your chat? Oh, your chat's broken. Earlier this week, former Naughty Dog employee David Ballard came forward on social media saying that he had been sexually harassed by a lead at the company in 2015. Since then, Naughty Dog has released an official statement that says it has no record of these allegations and that both harassment and inappropriate conduct have no place at the studio. Now, Naughty Dog explains that it has not found any evidence of having received allegations from Mr. Ballard that he was harassed in any way at Naughty Dog or Sony Interactive Entertainment. Now, look, as much as I'm a massive, big Naughty Dog fan, you know, I think their statement was a bit piss weak. Did you see the whole thing?
Yeah.
I think it was very vague.
Oh, it's with everything that's going on with the Harvey Weinstein, whichever Weinstein it was.
I know what you mean.
With everything that's going on with him, and the amount of things that are coming out in the media at the moment, they did have to be very vague, really. But I want to know what's going to happen if this person, like, if this is true, and it found out to be true, and that's absolutely disgusting. That has no place in this world whatsoever. But if this person is lying, you know, to get their 5 minutes or for whatever reason, what's going to happen?
Well, essentially, if that can be proven, which, look, I don't know if those kind of things can be 100% proven. They'll obviously be sued. There'd be some sort of lawsuit for defamation. But look, I've looked into it a bit and the wording of the actual statement. And look, obviously they don't use the word sorry, because sorry is like saying that you've done something wrong. It's an admission of guilt, yeah. That's right. So I'm happy with them leaving out the word sorry. I wouldn't want them to apologise for something that they don't know whether or not, or don't believe that they're guilty of. But it sort of didn't even sort of elaborate on anything. They've kind of just said, oh, I asked a couple of... This is how I envisage what their statement was, where old mate comes and says, I've been sexually harassed. And then the boss there goes, 1 second, gets on the intercom and goes, boom! Hello? Just testing. Yep. I just want to find out, is there anybody out there that has received a complaint from David saying that he was sexually harassed? Mate, nobody said anything. I guess not. It just, and then one extra line at the end of it would have been good, saying, we'll look into this further.
Yeah, true. Although it's kind of a given. I took it as though, okay, we've received nothing previously about this. All of a sudden, it's come out in the media that this is what he's claiming. You know, I think it's kind of a given that they're going to look into it, but yeah, it was a very basic reply. It was just sort of
with
like, well,
what they wrote, it almost indicated like that was it, cut and dry. Nah, there's nothing. See you later. And I think I'm...
There's nothing there, really, jog on, sort of thing, yeah.
Yeah, I'm really just arguing this for the sake of arguing this, really.
We can argue all night, mate. It's good.
Doesn't really matter for us, does it? But anyway, it's interesting. But he's also claimed that he's gone and made the allegation. So he's said, well, not the allegation, he's made the complaint. And he said, okay, excuse me, Mr. Bossman, I've been harassed by this person. But he's making the claim that then the following, I don't know, the next week or whatever, he was then sacked himself. So if that has any truth to it, if that is actually what happened, of course there's not going to be any evidence. If I was going to sack someone because they were making waves about something that's like misconduct, so they come up to me and said, I just want to say that Snoogs is sexually harassing me, blah, blah, blah. Well, fuck, I'm not sacking Snoogs. You're out. I'm not going to write that down. I'm just going to sack you. Well, not you, this other person sort of thing. So I don't know if it is actually possible to find out beyond sitting down with members of the staff and saying, what do you know?
Yeah, what's going on?
Yeah, and unless someone else comes forward, it's going to be an entire company, Naughty Dog versus this one guy. Paul Clennett in the chat says male harassment is not taken very serious, and it's probably right. Male sexual harassment, like it's kind of unheard of. It's usually the dirty, disgusting blokes that do the harassing. It may be another bloke doing the harassing to this guy. It's probably that, you know, I don't know what it's like in your workplace, but, you know, I've been in workplaces before where there's the whole sack whack thing that goes on. You know about that, though?
Yeah, not since, you know, the chefing days.
That sort of stuff going on, that's sexual harassment. It's physical assault, but you know, those sort of things go on, and that could be what it is, and just sort of, don't worry about it. I mean, that's sexual harassment all the same. Doesn't matter what gender it is, but if somebody doesn't like it, they don't like it. But anyway, I don't know if we'll hear anything more from this. If we do, we'll get an update, eh?
Yeah,
anyway,
we'll see. It'll come out.
Enough on that one. Let's go on to my last bit of news until we hear your one. Number 3, Fortnite lawsuit. Now, there's been a lot of talk in the past in the news about Fortnite being sued by Bluemouth, the makers of PUBG and all that sort of stuff. Here's a different one. Bluemouth, yeah.
Is it Bluemouth?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. I'll trust you.
I'm pretty sure it is. You're making me doubt myself now.
We were speaking of Bluemouth last week.
Oh, not Bluemouth. No, Bluemouth Interactive do the
Yeah, that's what I'm trying. That's why it's not sitting right.
Blue Hole. There
you go.
Close. Okay, well, Bluemouth just got a shout. People go Google it. They're good people there at Bluemouth. No, Blue Hole, the makers
Thanks,
of...
Lewis.
Blue Hole from the PUBG people. But this is different this week. This week's lawsuit that's involving Fortnite is actually Fortnite fighting back. So it looks like the shoe is on the other foot this time round. Epic filed a lawsuit in North Carolina naming 2 defendants. So we've got their names. Ooh, Brendan Broom and Charles Vrasper. These lawsuits are in relation to them creating software that enabled cheating in Fortnite. So the two are they're said to be associated with a cheating site where Vrasper allegedly uploaded a program for cheating at Fortnite, and Broom, who lives in Canada, also allegedly modified the software to bypass Epic's detection. And Epic additionally claims that Vrasper is a known cheater within Fortnite and has been banned 9 times from the game. The company is suing the 2 individuals on a basis of copyright infringement, each instance of which can carry a fine of $150,000. Now, suing an individual...
Next week they'll offer them jobs.
Well, I was going to say, suing an individual for $150,000 will very likely get you nowhere, because I don't have $150 in my pocket, $150,000 in my pocket.
I don't have $150 in my pocket.
Well, yeah, me neither. I might have 15. But that's what you just said, Snoogs, is the next point I was going to make. I think they might be better off offering these 2 jokers jobs, because they can get past their security. Mm-hmm. They can fix it so others can't. So
that wouldn't be the first time.
I think that should be a very good thing to consider when you get hacked by people and you can identify who they are. Talk to them. see if you can hire them, because they're obviously better than who you have working at the moment. So, you know, that's something to consider. We've got Paul in the chat saying Fortnite is fun but broken. Tell us what's broken about it, Paul. I actually find it quite fun and haven't had issue. Doug Crew has said Fortnite is still in beta. Good point. It's great fun. Better than PUBG. More run and fun. Better than PUBG. That for me personally, I agree with that. But that's very, very subjective. That's for the individual, because some people prefer PUBG because of the, you know, the modifications you can do to the weapons and the fact that you can go prone and the slower approach. But yeah, me, I think it's better to run and gun and have. Quick game's good game. Paul has elaborated saying the building stuff is a bit meh. Paul, if you get down to like the last few people, building becomes very crucial. Very crucial. And yes, Doug Crew, stick figure. IMO, absolutely, in my opinion. And mate, I agree with your opinion, but not everybody would. So there you go. Maybe they want these $150,000 or $300,000 from both of them, sort of preempting their lawsuit with Bluehole. They're like, let's sue these guys so we've got money to pay these other guys when their lawsuit comes through. Yeah, it's pretty funny, that they're now complaining about copyright infringements.
Yeah.
That's rich, Epic.
Pot calling kettle.
Yeah, something like that. All right, let's move on to the news article that you've got, Snoogs. Activision's cheeky patent. Tell us about that.
So in 2015, it's been uncovered that Activision filed for a new patent system to do with their, what do they call it? In-game matchmaking. So what it pretty much does is it's designed to make the lesser players get match made with better players, so that it increases the chance for people who aren't as good at the game to buy premium currency or premium products to become better. So, for instance, stay in Star Wars, you jump on there and you're playing against someone who's running around with the Han Solo blaster. You then go into the menu, you go and click on the Buy It Now button, and you spend real-world money, so microtransactions, and pick it up so that you become better, so you've got a more powerful gun. So this was uncovered only just recently.
But at this stage, it's just a patent they're claiming that haven't actually used it any of the.
So it was a patent that have Activision's now come out and claimed that it was filed for by a development team who were working on a game back in 2015, and that it has never actually gone live.
Yeah,
but who knows?
And another thing that it's kind of targeting as well is that they will try and put X gun into a scenario. So they might matchmake you because you've got, say, this like fantastic sniper. They might put you in into a game with that sniper in a sniper-friendly match. So you'll see the sniper do really well and go, I want that gun because I want to try and replicate what that good player is doing, so I'm going to buy that gun. But also for the fancy skins. So if you don't have any skins, they might match you with some people that have fancy skins on their gun. So you can see their gun, obviously, when they kill you with kill cams in Call of Duty, and you can actually see them in the map. They might be on your team, and you'll see these guns, and it's kind of like it's in-game advertising on
it's in-game peer pressure more than anything else.
Well, no, I wouldn't call it peer pressure, because there's nothing popping up saying buy it other than the fact that the other person is using it. What I liken it to is when you watch your football players go out onto the field and they're wearing Nikes, like they're having Nike boots on or what have you. and the people at home see their superstar, their favourite sports fans or movie stars wearing Nikes, then people want to go and buy Nikes. It's the same thing that they're doing in games. They'll see the top player, the gun that he's using. You know, I want that gun. I don't find it any different to that. While it's a little bit sneaky, and it could be a pain in the ass, adding an extra criteria to the matchmake, which might make matchmaking a little bit worse. Other than that, I don't see issue with it.
No, I don't have too many issues with it. It's just it's the way that it's... Well, this is half the thing too. It's been reported in this way. But yeah, it looks as though the way that it's been filed, it's very underhanded to, you know, go after those microtransactions.
So you're not happy with it?
Personally, I don't care because I don't.
Okay.
You know, like advertising doesn't work a great deal for me. Only because really I'm pig-headed. So if I want something, I know what I want. I research what I want. I go and get it. I don't really buy a lot of stuff on a whim. So playing a game when, you know, someone shoots me with a fancy gun or a fancy looking thing or whatever, it doesn't affect me. It's more the way that it's come out, that it's been this underhanded sort of thing they've tried to, more for lack of a better phrase, to try and sneak in.
Well, but they haven't. They haven't. All they've done is patented it, so it's their idea and nobody else can take it.
But that's what they're telling us. We don't know if it's already in place or not.
Oh, look at it. I would like to think that if there was an official statement, which there is, well, it's a tweet, that they'd be telling the truth. Because if they get found out, the
biggest thing with Activision is because it was Activision that did it, and then they're known for having excessive amounts of like cost on their DLC and having excessive microtransactions available. And I think it's just really, it started to become a storm in a teacup, really.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever bought microtransactions from Activision before. The only place I've bought microtransactions is in mobile games.
I don't think I ever actually have.
I was about to say that. Have you ever?
I don't think so.
Is anyone in the chat? Anybody done microtransactions? If you're listening to this later, put it in the pin post on our Facebook page or comment it on the YouTube video. But I don't
think I really ever have. I've bought DLC on the fly.
Yeah.
And that's only because, you know, I've gotten to the end of the game and gone, okay, well,
I want more.
And so I've gone and bought the DLC sort of off a bit ad hoc, but sort of paying, you know, pay to win sort of stuff. No, I haven't.
I've paid for. I've got transactions in what is it? Clash of Clans. I did that so I could build some things and stuff like that. I was getting really into it. I feel like I got my money out of it. I probably spent $15. I haven't bought hundreds and hundreds of dollars like some weirdos do. But and I had my fun. I bought the full version of Super Mario Run. That was $15 as well.
Yeah.
But yeah, when it comes to, you know, like console games and buying skins, nah, I've never done that, except for the little codes that come in games and stuff. That's the only thing I've done there.
Yeah, that's all the stuff I've done, yeah.
Paul Clennett, he's done some microtransactions on Battlefield 1. That's probably what the cases, the loot chests or whatever.
Yeah, I did say it would be, yeah.
Some people do, but that's the thing. A lot of people get up in arms about microtransactions. As long as you don't need to use them, who cares?
If they're not a necessary part of the game, then meh.
I like them. Like, I like how in Forza you can just use your in-game credits to get loot crates. I like that. So, There you go. All right. Well, that's news. We're done with news. How about we move on to user-created content? Want to do that?
Yeah,
No?
I suppose we get it out of the way.
All right, so user-created content this week. I've put up a post just today, actually, and it's gone nuts. And it was titled PlayStation 4 versus Xbox One versus Nintendo versus PC. Now, if I've done this correctly, I should be able to get what I'm looking at up on the live stream. So if you're watching this live, this makes sense. If you're not, it's a bit strange, but you'll be able to watch the video. So that should pop up now in your live stream there, what I'm looking at, the actual post itself. And I said, user-created content for tonight's podcast recording. I want to know what makes you play on your main platform of choice. And to make things trickier, let's avoid saying whatever it is that you're playing on is more powerful. So I wanted to get rid of the whole, PC because, 4K, 60 frames.
I have 64 gigs of RAM.
Yeah, all that sort of stuff. And I didn't want people going, PS4 because it's more powerful than an Xbox, because I don't think that they're valid reasons anymore. And I'll elaborate a little bit more. So we've got heaps to go through here. So let's have a look. So that should be, hopefully that's clear enough for you guys to see there. Well, let me just quickly have a look at the chat here. I got to squeeze in a game or two of PUBG before bed. We'll listen on Monday. Right, you're off. See ya, Adam.
Have a good one, Adam. Thanks for jumping in.
PUBG from Bluemouth Interactive. All right, so I've got this up here, and quite a few replies. Let's go through it. First one here, Matt Alexander. He says, I like the controls on the Switch, and it has some really nice titles out now. What are you laughing at?
Adam's just put in there, if money is no concern, PC owns. In the chat.
Yeah, fair enough. Where was I? Would have to be my console of choice at the moment, just because it feels new compared to the other consoles. I didn't expect that we'd get much for Nintendo, because for me, Nintendo, I've just seen it always as the console you get to play Mario and all that sort of stuff. You're playing it with your mates and your kids, but it's not really. I don't know anyone that main consoles or main systems are Nintendo. Because their online infrastructure is horrid, but the games are absolutely fantastic and fun to play. But that's Matt Alexander there. Moving on, Shane Bentley says, I have a PS4 Pro best. Okay, glad you love that one. I've got one too. James DeGraff, he says, PlayStation 4 for me. They just have the games, and in my opinion, an easier home screen to navigate. Xbox controller is way better, and the ability to view your saved videos remotely without having to upload them anyway is a benefit also. I agree. That is a really cool thing, to be able to go to your PC and get them off the cloud rather than having to copy them across. But it might take time if you've got a snail internet. But look, yeah, the PS4 is easier to navigate, but I'm actually finding my way around the Xbox One a lot easier now. It does have a good updated dashboard. As long as they leave it the way it is and don't change it, fix the bugs, it'll be good the way it is.
Has that sorry to jump in there.
You're right.
The 60-minute recording, has that come in yet?
Yes, it has. Yeah, well, it has for me anyway. However,
right,
for 60 minutes, you can only do that on an external hard drive or thumb drive.
That's fine.
So I've got a 32 or a 64 gig thumb drive that I plug in, and I can record 1080p for up to 60 minutes.
Yeah.
So yeah, that is there. It's still only 1080p and 2 minutes if you're recording to the console, and 720 and 5 minutes recording to the console.
Just to the console.
All right, next one, Chev Gower. I've always been a PlayStation player. There have never been any Xbox exclusive games that has made me want or need to play one, so I guess it's just what I've stuck with. Yep, fair enough. I mean, not all games excite all players, but I can't help myself. I love all of them. Mitchell Stutchbury, PS4 menu is far superior. That's a common theme there. I have both, and the Xbox is just confusing and clunky. The PS4 is simple and linear. PS4 exclusive games are better. See, PS4 exclusive games. I have to agree with that. I think the PS4 exclusives are better.
Are they better, or are they just more frequent?
No, I don't think they're more frequent.
I'm just going to throw that in there.
I think they're better and more frequent. But
they've got a better cross section.
But then the Xbox has got some gold over there, though.
Oh, it's got some beautiful stuff over there.
Yeah, definitely. Anyway, Chauncey Gonzalez, he says PC Master Race. Okay. Doesn't answer the question, but whatever floats your boat. Paul Clennett, why open this can of worms? And I guess it's his mate, James Pearson, says, for funsies. And then I said, what James said, because for a good chat on the podcast too. And then we've got more from Paul, bloody troublemaker. Not troublemaker, not a troublemaker. Cuphead, Paul, is a good exclusive. Although,
definitely.
Nothing really exclusive anymore on the Xbox because they're all available on PC. Are there any games that are
still.
Yeah, Windows PC though, so it's a Windows exclusive, not a console exclusive. Paul again says, but I moved from PlayStation to Xbox because my mates did. I'm no fanboy and own all Sonys up to the PS3, including PSP and Vita. But now I prefer the Xbox controller. I may end up with the PS4 because most of you guys are on that platform and I feel I'm missing out. But I enjoy my Xbox One. Mate, we're on both. I'm on my Xbox One most nights these days. So you can catch me on there. Actually, you sent me a message on there the other day. So, mate, just start a party and send an invite. I'll jump in. More from Paul. Hell, if money wasn't an issue, I would have the lot. All I did forget we own... Oh, you forgot you own a Switch, but I've played it twice since launch. I don't expect when I get my Switch that I'm going to play it a lot. But I'm going to play the games that I love on it. Alright, moving on. James Pearson, PS4 is by far more user-friendly and the exclusives are the main pull for myself, as well as the majority of my friends play PS4. Now that there is the kind of answer that I think is spot on. Where the majority of my friends play. That's probably the closest to my answer right there. So if you want to know what I like to play on, and that's where my friends are. Where the players are, that's where I go. I love my PlayStation 4, but it's not getting touched very often these days. I've been playing a lot with the Doug boys. I'm doing a review on the Xbox One at the moment. I previously did the Cuphead review. And that's it. It's where the friends are. If the games are there, which they are on both consoles, or they're all on all platforms, the games are there. It's where the friends are. I think that's the important part. Sarah Michelle says PC Master Race plus RGB everything. God, RGB is going nuts, isn't it? I've got RGB keyboard right now. Actually, no, that's not true. My keyboard is lit, but it's only blue. So it's just B.
Mine's red.
And my mouse, however, is RGB. I don't know. It's kind of... I feel like RGB is going to go the way of like... you know, brightly coloured jeans of the 80s or something like that. You know, in a few years' time, people are going to look at our RGB keyboards and mice and all that sort of stuff and go, the bloody hell were you thinking?
Yeah, what drugs were you on?
Yeah, it is a bit trippy. James Cotton says PC every day. Sure, the power of PC and all, but the smooth frame rates AO, which is I knew what these were. What are they? Oh, I had them today in my head. AO is... I can't remember. AA is anti-aliasing. Oh, bloody hell.
AO is adults only.
Maybe. Paul Clinner in the chat, RGB, red, green, blue. That's where you can change all the colours underneath your mouse or your colours of your keyboard.
You could have a disco while you type.
Oh man, I did know off the top of my head what AO was, but just in the heat of the moment, I got no idea. So let's move on.
I read it today and went, what? And then kept reading.
Yeah, it's going to bug me until I get it. But anyway, so yeah, the consoles don't have any of those sort of settings. And I dare say the forbidden word, graphics. Gaming on PC is a much better experience. And the excuse of I'm playing on my couch with control, I like playing on my couch with controllers better, carries no weight anymore. As Xbox drivers are standard on Windows and PS4 drivers are built into Steam, both with wireless Bluetooth support. No, it still does carry some weight, because I've got to say, my PC's in my computer room. There's no lounge here. I'm sitting in an upright computer chair. In my lounge room, I can sit on the couch.
My PC's in my office. My Xbox is in my office. My PlayStation's usually in my office, but at the moment, because I'm changing my office around, it's out in the lounge room. But yeah, I play everything on a monitor now.
Yeah, fair enough. Can you just tell us a joke? Ambient... No, I found it. Ambient occlusion. Yeah, that took me ages to think of that, but I had to Google it. I think everybody saw me Google it too, because it comes up on the stream. But yeah, that was bugging me.
There it goes.
Ambient occlusion. Where am I up to? Sure, you get more bugs and crashes on PC, but you take the good with the bad, and honestly, the good far outweighs the bad every time. If you've got a decent PC.
Paul. Good graphics isn't the be-all and end-all. It's about the games. That is 100% correct, Paul.
About the games, about the fun, about the friends, but...
About the experience. It's about that whole experience, yeah.
The graphics are a big part, though. Matty Stork commented on that, plus all the awesome PC exclusives. I think he was joking. Oh, it says it straight up, kidding, just playing. LOL. Alright, Eric Jenkins. I own all consoles, but mainly use Xbox One. And then I wrote something. Whoops, I've clicked something I shouldn't have clicked. Go back. This is why I normally copy out all of the answers in case something like this happens, because now I've lost it.
In case your Grinder app opens up accidentally.
Oh, that won't happen.
No.
I deleted it just in case. Alright, where are we up to? Let's get down here. Here we are. Brett Bryant, PC, being able to mod games, that is cool. High frame rates, I love those. Being able to pick the hardware and build myself, that is fun. Cheaper games, that is awesome. More control using mouse and keyboard. Brett Bryant, you do put forward a pretty good case. Stu Redmond says, also, don't forget PC does everything the consoles do, usually better, and a lot more besides. Parts can be replaced and or upgraded as necessary. No need to buy a whole new unit. Very true. Brett Bryant replies with, was just going easy on them. Don't want to tell them how I really feel about consoles. Haha. Yeah, but there's arguments against that as well. That those parts, like my graphics card, which is about on par with my PlayStation, with power, cost the same price as my PlayStation. And that's just the graphics card. So you're right. All these things in PCs are fantastic, but they're fucking expensive. You're paying for them for sure. All right. Moving on. Matty Stork says PC because we have all the best exclusives. Another blah ha 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 moment. And my vote goes pretty much all the other three. Right. Bobby Hahn says Xbox and PS4. Good lad. Andrew Farrell's PC Master Race. Brad Trott, PC takes the title, of course. No need to go through consoles or other device. No need. Okay, comes straight off the gaming build to PC. I personally have a PS4 and Pro and game with that. If I had the money, I'd buy a gaming PC dedicated to iRacing. Cool. Another one, Tommy McLaughlin, PC Master Race. Another one, Nathan Makey, PC hands down. God, big PC fans. Must be some rich people on Aussie Games Express this week. Alexander Chapo. I'm going to be honest, right now I choose PC over console. I wasn't a console snob, but I just preferred console over PC. But since you have to pay online now, I strongly side to PC because I can just buy the game and jump online to play with friends for free. Hang on a minute. I know that was a different person. I'm confusing some people. All right, and a reply to that from Chauncey. Well, consoles, you get free games as well as you're paying for developers to create better games. Main reasons why an online fee is now applicable. Yeah, I guess. Still bothers me though, from Alexander. Plus is expensive. Chauncey says, I mean, paying for internet is pretty expensive. Paying for gas and all that sort of stuff. You guys can see it on the post. I won't go through all that. Otherwise, I think we might be here all night. Luke Kenny. Give him a shout out for commenting on here. I've used all but computer and have stayed with Xbox. I owned a Wii U and a PS4 but sold both. Oh, sell them both. Brad Trott. Well, aren't you a silly man? Oh, and there's a hidden post there that we're not going to go into. Danny Skilter. Does that go right to the bottom of that? How far does that? Yeah, it goes down to the bottom. Awesome. The Final Fantasy series this is from Danny. Was only available to PlayStation, and also at the time the PS3s were capable of playing Blu-ray, whereas the Xbox 360 could not. It's kind of the other way around now with the drives, isn't it?
Yep.
Wen Cheng, I use PC as my main gaming device, but I use PS4 as my second for my VR gaming. It is easier. In the chat, Paul says, but upgrading PCs is annoying and pricey. Yeah, it is. Way too expensive.
I find upgrading them fun, except when the wallet starts punching you.
Yeah, that's pretty quick. As soon as you start upgrading. Oh, I'm telling you,
as soon as you start thinking about it, it starts squealing at you.
I upgraded my my video card a year ago, maybe a bit over a year ago. It was $509 just for the video card.
Yep.
You got the money? Definitely PC. But that's not where my friends are. So I could have the best PC in the world and still be bored playing video games on it. Alright, well that was user-created content. That was a good one. For only one day's worth of content, that was plenty. So thank you very much to everybody whose names that I read out there. There's a couple that I've read out a few times. You guys are awesome. Thanks for coming back week after week. We really appreciate it. But for now, it's time for another segment. Do you know what that segment is?
That would be the favourite segment, wouldn't it?
It is. It's the Golden Child.
The Golden Child.
For What's That Sound?
Boom, boom.
Alright, so this wasn't from last week, because last week we had the special when we were in the Gold Coast for the EB Games Expo. Last week's, the week before that, episode 189, I think we've got...
Yeah, last week's What's That Sound was...
What was that? Splashing in the pool?
You've fallen in the pool.
Yeah, the Gerald moment. What is that sound you're doing?
I've got my water bottle.
Oh, I was going to say, because it sounds a lot like water. That explains it. All right, so we've got to mention our winners from the last What's That Sound we did was Martin Creamers and Zach Courtney. They got the answer correctly, and I'll play that sound for you now.
Third place. Third place. I built a robot that can turn human beings into jelly with the push of a button. And Doc What's-His-Face gives me third place in a planet-wide science fair. At least around here, people appreciate my talents.
All right, and I think at some stage, although you probably had a few guesses, which was a little bit of a shotgun answer. I don't mind that. Shotgun answers, if there's only a couple, there's not like 10, 20. That's fair. You said, it kind of sounds Borderlandsy.
Mm-hmm.
So you're getting a point, Snoogs.
Woo!
Because it actually was from Borderlands. I think it was Borderlands 2. I can't remember exactly, but it was one of the Borderlands games. It wasn't Handsome Jack, that was a girl.
No. Isn't it the Handsome Jack collection or something?
Well, the Handsome Jack the Handsome Jack collection has the 2 Borderlands games in it. It's like
I thought the second one was called Handsome Jack something.
Oh, no. No, I don't think any of them are called Handsome Jack anything.
All right, cool. Forget what I said. Edit that out.
I can't. What'd you call me? All right, so are we ready for What's That Sound this week? Now, Reprimir has got us one. It's titled Blarg. But as we've learned recently, these titles have nothing to do with anything. He's just a weirdo. Thanks, Reprimir. All right, so let's have a listen to this week's What's That Sound? Okay, it kind of had something to do with the sound. I don't know what that is. That's ridiculous. No one can Google that one either. You have any idea?
Well, kind of.
Kind of, not really?
No, kind of, really.
Paul Clennett says it needs sounds from the early 80s. I might get it. What you got to understand, Paul, is that Reprimir, who's getting these sounds for us, was born in 1994. So just see his comment.
It's his ex-wife.
Paul's just said in the chat, that's my ex-wife. And for that one, Paul, you get the trophy. You are correct. It is Paul Clennett's ex-wife.
I was waiting for it to actually say something, and
so it
kind of sounds. No, because it's kind of sounds like one of the troll creatures out of The Witcher. Which they're very dull and grunty, and
I'll play it again for you. All right, I'm going to go with Shadow of War.
Yeah, that was the other one I was thinking.
Topical.
Yeah, topical at the moment.
So I've got absolutely no idea.
Sounds like an ogre. Yeah, it could be like a Warcraft or...
That sounds a bit like Snoogs in the morning.
Yeah, it takes a little bit to get going.
Anyway, if you are listening along at home or wherever it is that you are listening to this podcast, thanks for listening, by the way. And you think you know what this week's What's That Sound is, then send us a private message to our Facebook page, and if you are correct, you will win yourself a game. A couple of people last week got some cool games. Martin Creamers and Zach Courtney, they scored themselves some stuff for nothing, really, just for having a go. I often give prizes out for getting them wrong. Funny answers like saying that's my ex-wife.
I reckon Paul gets one.
Paul gets one.
Paul gets one, I think.
Absolutely.
That was brilliant.
Considering he's probably the only person listening, because it says there's 3 people watching, and I think you're one, I'm one, and so's Paul. But anyway, hopefully we get more hits on when the podcast goes live, because you're special, anyone listening to this right now while it's live, because after this is finished being live, you're not going to be able to listen to this show until Sunday, so you're early access. Lovely. All right, so that was What's That Sound? What does that leave? What's next? Last words. Let's go into last words. All right, Snoogs, have you got any last words?
Not so much at the moment. Mainly to make sure that people get over and have a look at the Gerald jump video.
Yes, the Gerald jump happened.
Leave us a like and That was a bit fun. Did you enjoy the cool off after a nice hot day?
It was good. It was actually pretty cold though. The water was really cold, but it was good. But now we've got to do something a little. I want to do something like that again, but we've got to do something a little bit more. I don't know, just a little bit more to it. I think jumping into a swimming pool wearing my clothes was a little tame. I think we've got to amp it up a bit. I don't mind if it's me again. I'm happy to be the subject of all these stupid things. Have you got any ideas? I know this is springing it on you. Have you got any ideas?
You know what?
What?
We'll do something here, okay? So we've talked about on before. I have an irrational fear of clowns.
Right.
Now, work out what you want to do about how we go about it, and I'll do some research to see what it is. There is something happening just near me, which is like a big horror thing happening around the time of Halloween. So what's that, next week?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But they're
like
scary clowns. You've openly said you're happy with scary clowns.
Yeah, as long as they're not still shit jumping out of me is not real good.
Jelly wrestling in a bikini. You are sick. No, I'm not doing that. That's Paul.
Yeah. No.
Well edited. I think he's saying the video was well edited. So what are you going to do with these clowns?
Well, there's a thing at the showground in Hawkesbury.
Right. So you're going to go to it.
Yeah, you and I can go down. We can do like a live stream from it with shit jumping out at us and
supposed
to be there. I'll figure that out. I think it's like next weekend.
Well, if I'm available, I'll go with you.
If you're available, yeah, we'll work it out.
All right. If what happens?
I don't know. You can.
What do they need to do? All right. We need 20 comments on the pinned post for this podcast, and the comments will have to be hashtag suck it up Snoogs.
Suck it up Snoogs. That works.
I've actually had this idea before about doing something to you with clowns, but I don't really know the extent of this fear, and I don't want it to be the point where you never speak to me again. But you brought it up, so we're doing it.
The extent of it gets to a point where if I am freaking out from it, it's, okay, leave me alone. Okay, leave me alone. Okay, leave me alone. If they don't leave me alone, then it kind of gets violent.
Yeah, but I don't want to be the subject of your anger because I set something up for it. Like I said, this was your idea. The clown
is subject of it. And it's only gotten to that once where I ended up picking up a teenager and nearly throwing them across a field. But yeah, it's not too bad. I don't like it. It is the one thing that scares me that really kicks into gear that fight or flight response. And being the personality that I am, it's usually flight. I'll usually look for a way out.
Fair enough. Paul in the chat says it sounds like him with spiders.
Oh,
I don't think that's irrational, though. Spiders are fucked. But anyway. All right, we'll do that. Hashtag suck it up Snoogs in the pinned post. Let's get 20 of them, and we'll do this somehow. I've got a few last words. The first 2 DLC drops arrived for Dying Light. We've got Content 0 and Content 1. They're available now on console, though 0 has been available on PC for a while. But now that Content 1 is dropped on PC, 0 and 1 comes out on console. And also the Astro A20s, the wireless headphones, launched today as well. So that's cool.
The A20s?
Yeah, the Astro A20s.
Oh, it is the 19th today. Yep.
Yeah, today, man.
I listened to them at the expo. Ooh, they sounded good.
Oh, did you? I didn't get a chance to try them.
Yeah, I went there and there was a few people in front of me and come back later and just managed to be able to sneak it. But you had to talk to the guys, saw how they worked. They've got a really cool little dock that comes with it that you plug for your consoles. It just plugs the infrared cable into it, the optical cable. And that gets plugged into the back of this dock, and then the dock sends it wirelessly to the headphones. And for PC, you plug in a USB.
Nice. All right.
But they're not they don't think they're cross-platform.
No, I think you've got to get different ones. I reckon you probably... I don't know for sure. Don't quote me on this, but this is an educated guess. I would probably hazard a guess at saying that you can, like if you get the PlayStation ones, you can probably plug them wired into your Xbox controller. It just won't be wireless.
But even the wireless, because it's optical. Like so, the optical digital out is the same across everyone.
I don't know. I don't know.
But yeah, it won't work with the PlayStation Slim.
No, there's no optical cable out. No optical out on the PlayStation Slim, which sucks. There you go. I was going to ask you, Snoogs, any chance that you might have put together a Last of Us quiz?
I have something in plan for that.
Tonight?
No, not tonight. It hasn't come through yet. I'm working on something.
Oh, God.
That I will have for you as soon as I get it. We'll bring it up. So it's something I'm organising that hopefully it'll stump you.
Well, hurry up, because it's getting to the point where I'm going to have to start studying the fucking sound engineers from the credits.
No, I don't think it'll be that bad.
But I've gone through everything so many times in preparation for this to happen. I should be... You're going to go in there and you're going to say, name the main character. And I'm going to be like, Ted! I've crammed too much.
If what I'm trying to do comes through, you'll enjoy it.
Sounds good. Love it. All right, well, I've been studying for that, so hanging out for it. That's it, Snoogs. We don't have anything else for episode 191.
That's it. The thing I was talking about before was fearophobia.
Fearophobia? What, scared of fears?
Yeah. So what it is, it's at the Hawkesbury Showground, runs from the 26th to the 31st.
Oh, that's what that's called,
each night, yeah. And... let's see if we've got an actual talk. No, it doesn't want to load for me. Anyway, it looks like a bit of fun.
Cool.
Yeah.
All right, well, let me just scroll quickly through and thank to people that have been in the chat. Paul Clennett, obviously, he's still there. Good on you. Brendan Brownie Brown. Stick Figure from the Doug crew. We've got Ramutha. She joined us for a bit. Thanks there. Michael Domator. Who else have we got? Adam Ryle was there. Thank you very much. Lewis Kazgun. He pointed out Blue Hole, not Blue Mouse. I think that was pretty much everyone. Thanks everyone for joining us in live, and thank you very much. We've got Reprimir. Just ending on my way home. He's just finished work. But yeah, we're finishing up now. Reprimir. But yeah, thank you to everybody that listened live. Thank you to everybody that got all the way to the end of the show and listened after the fact from wherever you're listening to the show from. And Paul says, thanks for the laugh. You are welcome, my friend. You're a good lad. Probably see you over on the Xbox, my mate. That's it, isn't it? So until next week,
mate.
I will always be, unless I change my name by default, Lucas.
And thank you, everyone. Hope you've had a bit of fun whoever's joined us. And I have been Snoogs. I'll see you soon.
Catch us all later. Well, here we are once again at the end of this week's show. If you're still hungry for more video game content, head over to the Aussie Gamers Express Facebook page and give us a like. We also have a heavy presence over on Twitter, so give @AussieGamers12 a follow, and also our YouTube channel is there waiting for you to give it the love that it deserves. This podcast is available for your convenience through iTunes, Stitcher, and TuneIn Radio. Thanks again for listening, and I'll catch you all on the next episode of the Aussie Gamers Express Video Game Podcast.